Geno Yoweri Kaguta Museveni bino yabyetankulidde yabadde agenda biita by'amannyo weno amwalayo mwenna omutemu yabadde agenda okutta Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine bino nno byongedde okuzibula amaaso g'ensi yonna ne kkooti y'ensi yonna omusango ogulyo mu ICC Kyagulanyi gwe yawayo nga waabira Museveni ne mutabani we n'abantu abalala kkooti y'ensi yonna kamera ezeetoolera ku Kyagulanyi zongedde okuwa obujulizi obukambwe ku Geno Museveni tubaye tukyali mu saga ey'okisaawe ky'ennyonyi Entebbe we baawambira Kyagulanyi okumujja ku madaala g'ennyonyi ne bamubuzaawo paka mu maka ge ng'era ensi yonna ekyakungiriza dictator ali mu Uganda akola ebintu by'obwa dictator bwe bityo kati ate ekyabadde empigi kyongedde okutaanuula amawanga g'ebweru ne bannayuganda abeera mu mawanga g'ebweru nga bagamba omutemu Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ate ng'asusse dictator ate ye mutemu nti ate awo tekigenda kusoboka tegenda kuba mmanya ya nkoko awo nno ogujja bagidde ebigambo byongedde okubijjira Museveni mutabani we n'abakungu abanene mu gavumenti baasindika okukola ebintu bino akatambi akalabise ak'omusajja yabadde asemberedde Kyagulanyi okumukuba essasi waliwo obwina ayongera okuvaayo ku mmundu eyo gye yabadde akutte era yabaddemu amasasi ag'ekika ekyawaggulu amakambwe nga Geno Museveni agenda kubyejjusa kati we bituuse njagala tusobe tulabe olutambi luno ogenda kuwulira ebigambo omanye nti wamma Geno Museveni bino yabyetankuulidde teyasuubidde nno bijja kutuuka bwe biti kuba kati bannayuganda bakambuwadde bannayuganda bazibumu n'ensi yonna ekambuwadde enzibumu kati tewakyali Museveni muwa second chance n'emu era essaawa yonna bannayuganda bo beesunga kimu kulayira kulaba Kyagulanyi ng'ayingidde mu State House Entebbe kale tutandike tulabe ebigenda mu maaso.
I think what you've said, yes, there is value in sharing information down to the remotest village in Uganda. We know the dictator has tried to control our minds by controlling content and flow of information. There is media capture, and so he controls content, he controls the flow of information, he controls consumption, and therefore eventually controlling our mindset, people's thought processes, and that way he's able to inculcate whatever propaganda he wants. So how do we deal with that? I think that is a very, very good point. You know, how do we counter this propaganda machinery, which is well-oiled, well-resourced, well-financed, and well-staffed, you know? Yes, we need to get our message down to the remotest villages. I think we shall look into that and work on it on an individual basis. We can still reach our own people and spread messages, articulate issues, and share information, especially now in view of the coming phase 2 mobilization tour. I think that is where we should now really focus and involve our people, call upon them really to rise when the whistle goes, when the signal is, when the drums are beaten, everybody should come into the streets so that we just overrun the streets and dominate the streets and do what we have to do. I think we've done enough rehearsals. We know that people are charged. We know that people are ready. Let's not waste more time on rehearsals. I think when mobilization and then we go for the jugular, let's not waste more time. Because what is happening, we're giving the dictator time to recover and to plan more. Now you see us just passed out 5,000 LDUs. You know, next time, what is he going to do? Let's not give him any breathing space. Let's go for the jugular and finish the job, because we can finish the job. It's just that I think we've been deferring, we've been delaying the action, really. We have the numbers, we have the people, we have the energy, we have the momentum. Let's go for it. Just back to what Professor was saying, I think, how do we create conditions that will ensure that we have better returns on capital? I think that is very fundamental, ladies and gentlemen. We've said this across the continent. All these dictators act on orders, you know, from the West. And because of that, they follow programs that are prescribed by the IMF, by the World Bank, which programs do not do us any good. These programs designed to exploit the resources, to extract cheap labor, and exploit the masses, whichever way you look at it. Now we're even seeing, education being downgraded deliberately. This is a policy, this is a design. So how do we overcome this? I think I always like to give these examples of China. China was able to lift 800 million people out of poverty within a period of 30 years. And not that China has more resources than Uganda has. We can look, the other good example is Singapore. Singapore was able to upgrade itself to a first world within a period of 20 years. South Korea is another good example. At the time of independence, Uganda was ahead of South Korea in terms of GDP. Today, we are 300 years behind South Korea. So we need to revamp, we need to overhaul the system. We cannot reform anything under the current dictator because the conditions are just absolutely diametrical to any progress. So what needs to be done is for us to continue with the mobilization, grab power from the dictator, and do what has to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, I continue to take hands. Yes, let's take Comrade Reginald, please unmute and speak to us. Thank you. Comrade Reginald, I think I need to unmute. Yes. You are unmuted. Please speak to us. Thank you.
Comrade Joe.
Yes, brother.
Welcome back.
Thank you, man. It has been a roller coaster. What a year.
And I'm telling you, we missed you.
Maybe
Maybe Doctor didn't mention it, but we missed you so much.
I missed you too.
But
I was forced to be away. It's not because I wanted. Maybe I can share this. First of all, I had to move house, and at the time I was sick, so that was a very heavy. But critically, my cousin, who died in Dubai 4 months ago in June, the body was returned home just 2-3 days ago. Now, it was a tedious, it was a cumbersome, it was a very bureaucratic process. These Arabs are really just a problem, And this case was complicated because my cousin happened to fall in love with one gentleman, and as far as the UAE laws are concerned, that is an illegal relationship. You have to be married. Either you are married or you are not married. There is no middle ground. So they did what they did, and she conceived. Now, stupidly, my cousin did not tell anybody. And I think, even the employer did not know. So at the time of birth, she had planned to go home, but she was overtaken by events. So she gave birth from home, but apparently she gave birth normally, but developed complications. Had run to hospital.
Yeah, we're losing you, Joe. Yeah, you're coming in broken.
Sorry about friend. The guy died. So it a complicated case. It was a complicated case at home, and that is Reginald. Thank you.
Yes, Joe. Let me just say that I was in the Middle East, but I saw where there's tolerance according to the kind of people that are there. If it was a section where the Americans, they would get away with such stuff.
Yes,
but issues that involve Black people, Africans,
yes,
it's a whole different story. So These things are happening partly because we have devalued ourselves. We have allowed these dictators who are sectarian and tribalistic and feel like they're supposed to be superior over other people. They want to build empires, so they connive with the colonialists and white supremacists, racists. So they connive in that area, and then there are these greedy people who have industries that they want resources. So they connive, and we're in the middle. But we are enlightening people, and thank you, Professor, for enlightening people. Joe, something quick just came up. Just
No
take
problem.
on.
No problem, brother. You always come back when you can. No problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Let's take the next speaker. That is Praskovia. Praskovia, please unmute and speak to us. Thank you.
Yes. Am I heard?
Loud and clear, Praskovia.
Yes. Yes. Good
Thank
morning.
You.
Good morning. Good afternoon. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you, Professor. That was good. And whatever you were saying, I was trying to reflect almost everything. And then we talked, there was something, how do we disseminate the information? You know, I'm always like, I'm on social media, but I'm on social media doing something else. So some comrade sent me a video and said, we need to talk about this. And then I'm like, what is that? So I had to listen to the clip. And that clip, it was us on the previous Zoom we had on Saturday. It was us discussing Uganda and what we can do. So I listened, I'm like, oh, so people go ahead and cut these presentations where they see people need to hear, people need to know. So it is not that our people do not know, our people know. Only that they take things for granted. Only that people, you know where a country, everything is about entertainment. A song will reach a village, even in a grass-thatched house, within a blink of an eye. But particular information will be left where it is being said from. So our people know, only that they do not want to know. When you go on TikTok, do you know how many videos we see from the villages, deep down in the villages, where you think there is no electricity, but those videos reach and these challenges are made out there. So it is our responsibility as a country and as a nation to put important things first things first, major to major, minor for minor. It's not that our people are naive, no, but it's like they have deliberately refused to put in what matters most. So I was so shocked because this gentleman was trying to emphasize, yes, you have heard the presenters, you have heard what they have said, the ball is in our hands. So any clip you say, anything you mention, as long as you're not misleading, and you know what is funny? The misleading information moves very fast. How does it reach? It is the same media we're using, it is the same platform we're using, but the misleading information flies more than you may think. So we have a mindset of the population and the people as well. So it is not that people they don't have access, they have access. That one I want to let you know, they have access. So everything we're doing, let us do it rightfully and at the right time, according to the situation. Dr. Mgen does videos in Rusamia. We have thousands of videos in Uganda. Thousands. Do we have Adora, Langi, Acholi, Runyankole, Ruchiga, Rutoro? Do we have those videos out there? Once those videos are out there, trust me, it will get to the people, no matter how and when it will reach. So Professor, thank you so much, and all our presenters tonight, and those our host, Miss Dorcas, I recommend you. I don't know how much I can thank you. Dr. Mgeni, Mr. Joe, Mr. Joseph, everyone, thank you so much. I just wanted to say that I'll come back if I'm given another chance. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Proscovia. You're right. Content is out there. It's just us to to distribute it to the right people so that it cascades down to the remotest village. But content is up, definitely. It is out there. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Oh. Yes, Dr. Mgeni, please unmute and speak to us. Thank you.
Yes, I think I'll just add on. There was a question that was posed to Dr. Alimadi, and I think I have an answer, partly because I have been in the communication industry for health. For us, we do what we call health education, and we look at different modes of communication. Now, for effective communication, you must get there's a message, there's a sender, there's a receiver, and then you must get a feedback. So I just wanted to emphasize, somebody was saying he's getting challenges. You know, social media is mass communication. And like we have often even commented, we have often said it here that you can be at work and communicate and, you know, this, so you don't focus. You don't focus on anyone. So what I have done, like making videos in Samia, was kind of to focus, because I can come here and make a video and the whole world listens to me, but maybe the whole world doesn't listen. It is like music from a radio, mass communication. Music can play, you can continue sweeping, you can do anything, and you listen, actually hear sounds. And somebody can even say that is chameleon's music, but did you understand the music? So for me, when I focused on Samia, I now ask for feedback. And trust me, I think I have shared with Mangeni some of the feedback that we are getting, that my videos are causing chaos in the district, because the district is now challenged, the leadership is challenged, and no leader is able even to come back to revert with a video. And I keep asking them, yes, come back and challenge the video I'm giving you. So you need to focus. What we call in health, we end up with focus groups. So in the focus group, we end up with somebody called a CORPS, C-O-R-P-S, a community-owned resource person. That community-owned resource person is just one person who has a phone. It's one person who understands you. Like you have heard all the videos in Busia start with Wafula George, Olio, Wafula George. So Wafula George is the one person I've focused on, and I make sure he has received the video. And we're now going into community halls. Get young people, play the video and discuss it and give me a feedback. So that's just a small way of doing it. Okay, I'm just adapting methods from health education. How do we reach you with the messages? So for now, like we have said, each person who thinks is active, focus, get feedback, and have a target area. If it is malaria in Bududa, go for it. And for us, we now have even focused on burials, because that's a place of misinformation. So my young people go for burials, not necessarily to bury, but to pass on information. So let's focus, let's do that. Joe, that's all I wanted to comment on. Somebody who was saying that they get challenges. Those challenges are there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A very good methodology there, as it might be called. Yes, having a very clear message again to a specific audience or a focus group, I think is one way of doing it, but also in a language that is understandable. or spoken by the people. So I think we can follow Dr. Mgeni's example and give targeted messages to our audiences in a respective districts or constituencies where we come from in our local languages. I think that would be quite effective, and WhatsApp groups actually are quite receptive to that. So thank you very much, Dr. Mgeni. Yes, Comrade Kato, over to you. Let me unmute you. Thank you. Are you unmuted? Kadilo, I'm trying to unmute you.
I've been on a different.
Yes. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. I've overspoken because I'm trying to fill in the gap that I missed a lot. I want to disagree with you, Joe, for one thing. Mobilization is now over. Mobilization is now over. If our people are serious, what happened on the 5th? First of all, we have to realize one thing. We have to know that war is fought in silence. And most of the people, when the military, everything, they'll never put their things in the open. We need to go underground in order to make things happen. When a river is going to flood, it doesn't warn people that, oh, I'm coming to flood. No, you just see certain symptoms, and then all of a sudden, oof, the river comes. And we Ugandans, we need to learn certain things about a warfare. And ours is not by arms or anything, but we need to begin mobilizing silently. And that is all I can say, because if people are serious, why is it that the military were the ones who were the first at His Excellency's place on the 5th? They should have been there. The military will have done nothing. And so those are the indicators. And I agree with Joe about one thing. No, not with James. Dr. James, last Saturday, I heard your heart. And I agree with you, a revolution will not start in Kampala. Revolution will start in Busia, will start in Arua, will start in Karamoja. And when those places fall, the rest will just fall a snowball and the rest of it. And so now you're doing a very good job, Dr. James, of having videos in, and we are trying to work very hard to make sure we get something in West Nile so that we can identify people in different regions, and we need to just empower our people. I thank you, Paul, for really bringing that up. Get those things. And I tell you what, to buy data, and the data there, they go quickly. You buy something of 75 gigabytes and it just goes through. They steal it. And these people are all thieves. So we need proper technical people back in Uganda. So if you're a technical person, you'll be the one to help with the internet connection. You'll give free for people sometimes. So that is my submission I wanted to say. And thank you, Dorcas, for putting this. For those who are in the United Kingdom, next Friday, we are at the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. And we are going to stand, and then we're going to move to the Home Office and make sure we challenge them about their double standards of allowing people to come into this country. And then they keeping quiet and being silent about the atrocity that's happening in Uganda, the injustice and impunity. And we are going to stand there in the rain or sunshine on the 5th. The time is there from 10 o'clock. So if you miss, you must miss. But if you can't, come. So thank you very much. Looking forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, just step in. Thank you so much, brother, for that. And also, I would like to acknowledge you and thank you for the ground protest And of course, we've got Mr. Kato, other brother, Mr. Kato, in the audience as well. Would like to acknowledge him for always organizing the demonstrations on ground, which are helping to further expose the dictatorship of Museveni, the 37-year brutal rule of Museveni. Thank you so much. We should be touching or spotlighting Dr. Nico soon. I hope if you're with us, please do let us know. There's a demonstration taking place today, and we wanted to spotlight that. Guys, this is to remind you, this is it's a protest. This is an online protest. We are not just having conversation. We are actually protesting. Let's send tweets, share them in the chat. Those on Facebook, do tweet and also send in your submissions. Thank you. Over to you, Joe.
Thank you, Comrade Dorcas. Yes, I wanted to respond to Comrade Kato. Brother Kato, as a matter of fact, I don't think there was any disagreement. You said this is not the time to talk about mobilization, but you cannot discount mobilization when you're at war. Even as you're at the forefront, even as you're fighting, you need to coordinate, you need to mobilize. I think what you meant, what you really meant was that, that there shouldn't be the kind of public announcement or the announcement from rooftops about what we are going to do. I agree with you. But mobilization has to carry on. Even as we execute our actions, there has to be mobilization. Even as we move into State House, as we capture power, there will be mobilization. So I think we really, there is no contention there. Yes, let's hear the next speaker. That would be, yes, I think that would be Robert. Robert, please unmute and speak to us. I'm unmuting you. Robert, you are unmuted. Please speak to us.
Yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all, comrades, and thanks for everyone who has contributed something today and those who are about to submit something. So I think today's theme has been education, and I'd like to take a different approach, and this is pretty much coming from the diaspora. I think to inward since I'm in the diaspora. So I think we need to do to do some self-evaluation. Have we done enough to put pressure to the regime from where we stand? That could be debatable. So I'm based out of Sweden, and from the history we have, the gentleman in power was here 70. I spent a lot of his time here, and up to now, without a shadow of doubt, I'm pretty certain we've not shaken up Sweden. There's a lot of information we could have access to in terms of how much did Sweden invest in Uganda, and we can put them at test as to, after 37 years, have they seen any kind of change supporting this guy for 37 years? So when it comes back to us, have we really put these guys at taste? Like, seriously, and this from the former part of side of things. We always think, we always say that we're putting pressure to Museveni, we're doing demonstration, but there's a more formal way as an opposition to put the most governments in the EU or the states to get results. So, and that means we need to get the data, we need to approach them formally, we need to get really good representatives to approach these guys and say, fine, I mean, you have your own interest in Uganda, that's pretty understandable, but is this sustainable? If there was a change, what is it that we can really come to terms? So I think we need to have a more formal and informal approach in terms of engaging these guys. So I'm here to see that we probably here in Sweden try to test these governments. I know in the States you do approach your congresses. Probably you could do better. Probably this is pretty much a global thing. Like everywhere we have a chapter, we need to do more. And at least at the moment, I would think we've done some progress. And I think all the signs show that we've made some progress. A good example is the recent exit of the Norwegian embassy. Yeah, that's not a simple thing. And personally, who lives in the Nordics, I know the Norwegian government has been pretty much like Sweden, supporting these guys big time. Yeah, so that's not a simple thing. So we need to do much from our side. Again, to do much, we need to also engage our communities. How? Before this session, I managed to do some research to see how many Ugandans are in Sweden. Yeah, and of course the numbers, from the statistics, you could find that we are over approximately 6,000 Ugandans. You could think we were many, but we're not that many. I think the biggest number are the Somalis, which are around 60,000. Yeah. So what do we use with these numbers? How are we engaging these numbers as Ugandans? This could be in America. How are we engaging? Okay, let's say 10% of these are in the struggle. How can we engage, mobilize ourselves to do the right thing and to put the government under pressure? Yeah. And how are we dealing with it really blows my mind that even us in diaspora, we have government agents who are detractors. How can you be in the diaspora and you talk good of the government? It just doesn't make sense. So I think, and then back to the numbers we have in Sweden, let's say even if it's half of that, how come these people are not on this program? What if we engage them and they are on this program and they spill it over to the people back home?
Yeah, thank you.
So I think that's pretty much what I can say for now, and I'll be listening into
Doctor,
deliberation.
can I just respond to Robert, please? Robert, yeah, I personally, you raised a very good question, and personally, I have engaged politicians in different parties, particularly at the height of the post-election violence. I really did, and the response I got was that decisions were not really made so much at country level. They preferred that I contacted the EU, which I did. And if you remember, I think the EU made a statement that was in the post-election violence. When the EU came out strongly, and I kept pursuing, but then I realized I think it was not leading us. I wasn't getting the outcomes that I desired, so I had to kind of change the approach. But clearly, yes, we need to do this in an organized way and coordinated way as a group. If we're 6,000, yeah, we can tap into that and mobilize the people. The problem has been this kind of reluctance on the part of the Ugandans are not willing to participate in this kind of action or activism or mobilization. So that's my answer. Yes, I think, Docus, you can pick the next person, please. All right. Yeah, we take Kato Kimera, please. Kato Kimera, unmute. I'm unmuting you. Kato Kimera.
Yeah, I'm there now. Thank you for the hosts.
Welcome.
I want to thank you for the hard work, which, you've been doing. This is my first time to join, though sometimes I work on Saturdays, so I didn't have too much time to join you guys, but I want to thank you for the great job you're doing for the country of Uganda and Ugandans. I just want to talk a little bit about, our issues we face in Uganda, concerning mobilizations and ownership. I think we need to push this ownership of removing this brutal dictator Museveni from power to Ugandans who live in Uganda. Because one of my comrades from Sweden, he mentioned about the 6,000 Ugandans who are in Sweden, but not very active. The same to the UK, the same to America, the same to, other Western countries. We've got a lot of Ugandans around the world, but they're doing less because they have in their thinking that these Muzungus, the white man, will go and remove Museveni from power. But all of us, we know very well that they will not do that, because an example of Sweden and Norway supporting, that I'm just going back to my comrade who had just left the platform, that they will not do nothing because it's all about their interest in Uganda. It's about the exploitation of Ugandans and the robbing of our raw materials from Uganda. So as long as Ugandans in Uganda don't stand up, this struggle is going to take us a long time. But the day Ugandans in Uganda say enough is enough, Museveni will go. We are standing behind them. We are not leaving them, but we are standing behind them, waiting for their action. When that action starts, we are ready to help them, whether financially or whatever they want, We'll try our best to make sure that the brutal dictator is removed. But the first firing bullet needs to start from Uganda itself. As being my first time, I'm not going to say a lot about this. Hopefully next week, I'll join in and I'll say a lot. But I want to thank Comrade Dorcas and the team on this platform and all the attendees who have attended today's meeting. Thank you very much. And
thank you. Thank you, Comrade Kato. You're right. The job has to be done by Ugandans themselves. All the politics is about games. Even the US will talk about democracy and will profess democracy, but what we say, what we observe in action is, it's down to their interests, their country's interests. That is what's down to. So it is the Ugandans themselves actually to get the job done. And I think most people now do understand that now. Yeah. So who is our next speaker? Actually, we're drawing to a close, ladies and gentlemen. So I think Paul is doing a rebound. Yes, Paul, please, you've just 1 minute to make your submission because you're making a rebound. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to summarize and encourage every person that yes, if you are doing everything that you do, like tweet every day. We are protesting every single day, and I urge every Ugandan who can tweet. That means who has the resources to tweet. Tweet every single day. Tweet about the human rights. Recently, they came up with a statement which was bogus. Uganda Human Rights Commission. They work for the dictator. So just imagine a Human Rights Commission again trying to prevent justice. Can you imagine? We are on our own. That's why every single Ugandan, you are at the front line. You are fighting, and you don't even realize that. People are grieving for their missing parents, children. They are missing husbands and wives and sisters who have been raped. So this is serious. So while we fight on these governments like the Western government who are sponsoring terrorism in Uganda, we also need to fight on our own, right? Then these people, they will join us. So let us continue. Let's not just sit and watch your neighbor being kidnapped, watch your neighbor being whisked away, and you just watch. Do something to stop it because you know it is illegal. People just like His Excellency is being arrested or kidnapped at the airport. Yeah. Honorable Nyeko Derek did something which was to show the criminality which was ongoing. He didn't just sit there and start panicking and all that. So we do something. Don't allow these criminals get away with things, we can do something to stop. Just the same thing as there was a social media law. We rejected it, which Nsereko brought. We rejected it and it's behind the window. So the regime now scares people who are using their constitutional rights to come and show support and love for the president. And they used things like unlawful assembly, things like inciting violence. They are using all these bogus charges to arrest our brothers and sisters. Why? Because they're trying to scare them, they're trying to discourage them from doing it. Two things they are discouraging you to do it more, 10 times more, because you're not breaking the law, and stick by it, don't be bullied. Thank you very much. In the interest of time. As I conclude, in the interest of time, I must go now, but I must emphasize that the regime now, if we come out, especially and we're protesting, which is constitutional and it's allowed, the regime will say that unlawful assembly. The regime will say, what is it called, inciting violence. What evidence do they have? If I'm carrying a placard, if I'm carrying a banner showing the president, is that inciting violence? Let us not just accept this bullying as citizens. Let us not be silenced. I beg to submit in the interest of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, comrade. We remain resolute and nothing's going to stop us. Thank you. Yes, comrade Noob, Boston chapter, you have 1 minute because this is a rebound. You have 1 minute to submit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe, and greetings to everybody once again. My name is Marvin. I want to thank Comrade Kato who submitted in and the rest of the other comrades. I think, yeah, I was on the same space with Dr. Jim Mangeni on the initiative that he's doing back home. Comrades, as it's been stated, it's not going to be the central or Kampala which is going to kick off our revolution where we want. If we can emphasize the outskirts of the country in other regions, and once we have everybody in all the different regions, we set up a date. This business of us saying, oh, we got to do everything in silence and it just pops up, I think Museveni needs to be informed. You know why? Because then we are able to divide all his resources countrywide. If we spread in Barara, if we spread in Kabale, if we spread in northern Uganda, all those towns in northern Uganda, in eastern Uganda, in southern Uganda, then trust me, his resources will be worn out. Then we can simply get on. I don't think he can cover up the whole country at once. We are over 44 million people. And Joe, our form of communication right now should be more assertive. Like it should be more assertive. I think our mode of communication has been putting people's mind back home into like, oh, there is tomorrow. We don't have tomorrow. It is today. The more we think of tomorrow, the more time we're buying to take Museveni out of power. So our mode of communication going forward, if everybody's communicating, it should be assertive. It should be more like, this is what we are going to do. And people need to understand. Because if we use the different codes, then it will be hard for people to interpret. The other thing which I really wanted to say going forward, Uganda's been exposed. We've exposed Museveni well enough. We're thinking of the international community coming into our rescue. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The best thing that they can do is to put a few sanctions, but those sanctions are not removing Museveni. They are not. So maybe going forward, we can only alert them. Just inform them. I mean, it's the same word that I'll use, like we have to inform the police of what we intend to do. We don't have to seek permission. So let us just inform the international community of the different things that that are ongoing, but not look forward to have them into their intervention, into our intervention. So that is going to be the game going forward, because trust me, these people, they are not going to come and start fighting for us. It is we, the citizens of the country. And the diaspora, I'm calling upon everyone. We all have places where we've come from. Speak to those people. Look up for the NUP coordinators in these different places. And then we start off from that. The grassroots, they're important. But if we think Kampala is going to be the place that the revolution is going to start from, let it be the last place. That's what I'm proposing to everyone. Thank you so much, Joe. Thanks, everybody, for this organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Marvin. I agree with you 100%. The strategy of dispersion is the strategy to use different power centers rising up. And yes, I think it is a foregone conclusion for most people who have really analyzed the situation. Kampala will come on board, will get on board last. Action is going to start from elsewhere. You know, we need to cause this array in the deployment of the dictators' forces, and we have the numbers. People are charged. I think we have the momentum. We can do it. I agree with you. Let's be more bold. Let's show. That will be a show of power and defiance, and I think that's the way to go. Yes, Comrade Godfrey, I think it's your first time to speak, so you'll be accorded 3 minutes, and then we take out the speakers. Yes, Comrade Godfrey, eager.
Yeah, thanks very much, Joe and Dorcas, and welcome back after a long time. I've been lowering my hands to and fro because most people have been saying exactly what I think and I feel. And I've got 2 points to highlight. Comrade Noop Boston, most of what he suggests have been said here tens of times by Joe, by Dr. Arimadi, by everyone else. Now, when it comes to information, some of the people at home know exactly what's going on. You don't need to even to be educated to find that if a minister comes in with his entourage in 4-wheel drives through potholes, you have no medicine, you have no jobs, you don't need to be told that's bad leadership. And they know about this. So they got more information, and all we have to do is to help them when they come up, because most of the stuff will be done on the ground. And we also should realize the Secretariat does pretty good job, because not everything which can be done will come on social media. That's social media is for us to make noise, maybe highlight a few issues. And also, if I may point out, we need to follow a lot of tweets, a lot of information we have. So if you follow Mary Sarumaga, she always come out with statistics before things happen, and we could do expand those, magnify them. A typical example is this Bitature being bailed out, 240 billion. Whereas we've got schools in trees, we've got roads which are crumbling, and you have a few Museveni, I wouldn't call them businessmen because they won't survive outside the regime. But to be accorded 240 billion, to rescue non-performing businesses, we should be making a lot of noise about this. That's all I've got to say at the moment. Everything I've been said. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Eager, for your submission. But as they said, these are pics of a dying horse. I really think, yes, it's good. Let's tweet about the Bitatures, the kleptocrats who are diverting funds, where those funds are not for end development, but for the regime's survival. But really, now let us focus on removing the dictator, on mobilization, and that will solve all the remaining problems. Yes, Comrade Reginald, you have 1 minute. I know you've been there. So please give us your submission. Yes. Reginald?
Yes, Joe.
Yes, brother. You're back.
Hello?
Are you
I am
safe?
back.
Good.
So quickly, I wanted to mention that I don't know if you saw Gilbert Olanya's presentation and a clip about land, and he was crying, yes, about Balalo. Now, yes, we know about neocolonialism, we know about colonialism, we know about the awakening of a black man to realize, hey, we have been used and we've been set up. But for us on let me borrow this word, on a micro level, because I see that that is micro and it's good, but on a macro level, we are facing a deliberate sabotage and need to hijack land. There has been this talk about trying to make a law so that the land goes to the government. But we all know who the government is. I've been on this forum and I've talked about the fact that the time when I was in Gomba, when I worked with the Peace Corps, there was Nyarwanda who evicted 2,000 people. 2,000 people. I also mentioned the fact that the district, which is supposed to be full of Baganda, because it's a district in Buganda, the people who are there were mostly Rwandese. This is out of experience. When we say these things, people shy away and they start being apologetic and then say that we are being tribalistic. No, we are sharing what we have seen. If you see the member of parliament, like Olanya from the north, crying that, hey guys, the president is not committed to making sure that these guys do not come here and start grabbing land. And he's using the word Balalo. And we know this Balalo are Banyarwanda. This is what I see. You know, people like Museveni are so bloodthirsty. They don't care if they're using their people. They don't care if they are creating a genocide that is also going to kill their people. And when I say their people, I say the latter immigrants, the people who run away from Rwanda because of instabilities. Those are the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that Museveni is a Mnyarwanda who came as a refugee, okay? So what has happened is these guys are so thirsty, bloodthirsty, that they don't care if they are creating a tribalistic tension. And
as you conclude, comrade, I'm sorry,
yes,
it's going to be brief. As you conclude.
So I want to call upon the Banyarwanda. Please, please start distancing yourself from these plans of these men. These men are bloodthirsty and they're trying to create that tension so that we kill each other. We shouldn't be killing each other. Many of you who went to Rwanda, we sat in the same classes. We ate on the same plates. I used to neighbor the kids of Regema in Bukoto. You know, we ate on the same plates. We are the same people. What we need to do is to unite and build Africa, add value to ourselves, because out there, we don't have value because people like Museveni has devalued us, getting us to pity against each other. So we need to really stand up and say no to this. Let's not enjoy the status quo. Let's not participate in land grabbing because there's nothing good that comes out of it. Let's say no to Museveni. Come out, distance yourself from Museveni. Don't be used. Banyarwanda, stop being used. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, brother. the ultimate solution is removing the dictator, and all the problems will be solved. Yes,
Amen.
land
Amen
grabbing remains a problem. You know, the dictator wants to enact a law that will ensure that the state owns land, and we know that this is just a smoke screen behind which they're hiding to do a lot of bad things. But really, we're way better than that. We're removing him.
Quickly, Joe.
Yes,
quickly,
please.
Joe. Incidentally, for him, he uses 2 billion shillings a day.
Yes.
None of the people he's using use 2 billion shillings. He's the one benefiting at the end of the day.
Exactly.
He's just using these other ones to play pawns.
Thank you, Reginald. Yes, let's take our last speaker. That is Janet. Janet, please unmute. You have 2 minutes to make your submission. I've unmuted you. Let's say Janet. I've unmuted you. Janet, I've unmuted you. Can you unmute, please? Okay, I see you unmuted.
Okay, have you? Okay. Hello, I'm Janet in Italy, Rome.
You ready?
I'm very happy.
Yes, we
from
are
Italy, Rome. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so grateful.
Give us your submission, please.
You guys here. Yes. I want to talk about how we can remove the dictator. One, I disagree with the gentleman who said that we should do inform Museveni whatever we are going to do. That's one thing I'm disagreeing with him. I'm also suggesting that we change our strategies, like of informing whatever we are going to do, talking about or whatever they are doing. I think we alert them. I'm suggesting we do things secretly, silently. You hear me, guys?
Yes, I hear you. I just said I hear
I'm going to be the first one to get there anyway.
Okay. Another thing is this thing of we are thinking the whites are going to help us. Let's demonstrate. Demonstrating is good, but I don't think they are going to help us. I'm in Italy, and Italy is a supporter of Museveni. Why? They are the ones having the contract of our oil, the company called N. One day I talked to one journalist here called Luca. The family is my friend. I said, but Luca, why don't you write about this thing? You're always in Africa. You write about poverty, what, but talk about human rights abuse. Luca answered me and said, Janet, what you should know, we are not interested in whatever is happening to you guys, though we are interested in what you have. Europe is not interested in you. It's you people to fight for yourself. When you will see that you are dying, that's where we will come in. So I think it's us that the whites will not intervene because they gain. Museveni has given them everything in return of his security. That one I heard it from one journalist here called Luca, Italian journalist, who has been even in Uganda some few months and told me, like, I'm going to your country. He came to Uganda, but when they took him to Karamoja, they did not take him where people are dying of hunger. They took him where they are getting gold and where there is some minerals. Luca came here and showed me. He did not show me anything concerning people dying of hunger. So, my dear comrades, we have to find a better strategy of removing Mr. Museveni. That's all I can do. And another thing also I would love to add on, here in Italy, Ugandans are there. But most Ugandans who are here in Italy, they are all of Museveni's regime. Very many. I think you can agree on that, because have you ever seen any demonstration in Italy? No. There were one, we did it in the period of presidential candidate. And it was done by the priests. That's when 2 of us or 3 we joined them at the Vatican. And lucky the Pope that time on that day did not come. He was feeling not well. So they said, we are so sorry the Pope is not attending this. We did it and we left like that.
Sorry,
nobody supported us.
Hi, please,
Thank you so
sister.
much.
Hi, sis. Please, could you summarize?
I've finished, my dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sis.
Most welcome.
Janelle, thank you. But Janelle, no, demonstrations do help. Now the question is, when you demonstrate, you got to be clear about the objectives. What is it that you want to achieve? So I'm very happy to inform you that we've seen that, for example, the IMF, the World Bank, they've taken action against the government because of sustained action against these institutions. In EU, in the UK, there have been also demonstrations. So they pay off. But can they remove Museveni? No, they cannot remove Museveni. They have to be supplemented with other actions, like what we're doing right now on the ground. That is what is needed. So if you can demonstrate, their demonstrations are effective. They're not completely a waste of time. They make an impact, but of course, you've got to really have a stated objective. Our last speaker, and that is we have 2 speakers. Henry, I think it's your first time, so I'll grant you 2 minutes, please, to make your submission. Thank you. Henry, unmuting you. Henry, you are unmuted.
Yes, thank you so much, Comrade Chair. Thank you so much, everyone on the platform. Thank you so much for resilience, for loving your country, for, I mean, I don't know, but I'll keep saying this every week. And Comrade Dorcas mentioned it. Comrades, this platform here is a demonstration. It's actually a demonstration. Every time we are here and put all our concerns together, it means a lot. I'm sure even those who do acknowledge the road, but they don't want to be part of these engagements, at a certain point, they will come to a point where they will know that actually these guys are not crazy, they are not mad, and they will join us. And I'm sure the more we are doing this, we are, like, every day we are having someone who is joining us. They might not be coming on these platforms, but again, they are out there trying to spread the word. So I just want to, thank you guys so much. And those who are doing demonstrations everywhere, yes, you mentioned this, Mr. Chair. Yes, it's true. The demonstrations, they have a very big impact, because when we sit and we don't do anything, or we don't shout like other people say, we're just shouting, then even those ones acknowledging our shouting, it's because we are demonstrating, we are doing it. At a certain point, they will come to understand what we are up to. And they do understand, actually, according to my knowledge, but they decide not to take action. And most of the times, it's those people who are able to put food on the table. People who think they are comfortable, who are not thinking about the future, or other Ugandans who can't afford what they can afford. So I just want to thank you, comrades. And then there's a comrade, I think it was still the chair, he mentioned about land. Comrades, this is a very, very, very serious thing in Uganda. I'm talking right now in Jinja, the industrial area that was abandoned for many years, almost 40 years, it was abandoned. It was an industrial area. Everyone knows here. Right now, they are taking the land, the bank on the river, the river bank. They came as a government. I hear they are bringing they're bringing investors, and they're going to develop the bank of the River Nile. And that's 400 meters from Nema. You know, Nema has about 200 meters from the river. And then they are going to start from Nema and then take 400 meters. So they called the chairpersons in that area. I'm talking about almost 60 kilometers from Gingertown, 60 kilometers. They are going to take all that land in the name of bringing investors. And what they are telling people, they are going to petition, and then they will come and, you know, they will come with a plan where they will say, here there is supposed to be a school. Here there's supposed to be a 5-star hotel. If you can build a 5-star hotel, then you can keep your land. If you can't build a 5-star hotel, then you have to accept the money that they're going to give you. And you can't say no to the government. The only option is only if you can build what they have planned for. So, you know, when it comes to this, you know exactly what they're talking about. It has happened in so many places, and right now we are talking here, it's happening in Ginger. Right now, they're measuring the land. So, comrades, we are not here because we are the best or we are the only ones who acknowledge the road back home, but we are here because we are concerned Ugandans, and will never be anywhere. I live in Denmark. I'll never be Danish. I'll always be Ugandan. My kids, when they ask them in school, they told them I'm a Ugandan. So our grandparents fought for this country. We have a duty to fight for this country. Uganda will stay. If we stand up, Uganda will stay even when we are gone. Thank you so much, comrades. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Henry. A very important point. And which other way to save our country, to save our land, and to remove the dictator, and remove him now. Let's not give him any breathing space. So we continue. We resume phase 2. Stay tuned. That is where all our attention should be. Yes, Comrade Docus, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Joe, for that. And thank you so much, Henry, to our professor, to each and everyone that has been with us. Before we end, I was actually showcasing our website so that you get to know a little bit about us if you're joining us for the first time. We've been speaking for the longest time, and I know we haven't had a home. So we have a home that is going to be improved or is being worked on, and this is it. We are called Uganda is Bleeding. However, we have not stopped at this morning. That's why our website is called Stand Up Uganda. We do know that one day we are going to rise up and go forth, reach for our freedom. So that's why we call ourselves Stand Up Uganda. We are calling you to action. We have to speak, we have to fight and liberate ourselves from that dictator. He's kept the Ugandans in captivity for over 37 years. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not bothered, I am. So join us. Let us continue to speak. Brother Joe, before we close, I would like to ask you to speak on the Middle East Initiative. This is your baby. So if you speak a little bit more, we've put so much together, and I do I actually shared a little clip on the Middle East. Joe, maybe just in a minute or so, if you talk about our initiative, and of course we do have Twitter Spaces as well. Maybe if you do that in a minute, and then we have a tweet and close. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Comrade. Yeah, my battery is running low. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, again, it is a pleasure to speak about the Middle East workers community that we set up slightly over 2 years ago. The objective was to, first of all, to empower this group to be able to navigate, the very hostile work environment that they work in. They faced so many challenges, and as you might know, they've been working under a kafala system where their workers' rights are infringed upon. The kafala system gives all the rights to the employer, including rights over your passport, for example, rights over your salary, rights over your life, literally. He decides, if you're going to be paid all the money, if he decides issues over your freedom, you reside in his house. So where do you live in his house? How many hours do you work in a day? Some people work as many as 22 hours. It's not a joke. It's not an exaggeration. People's salaries are withheld. Some of these girls are subjected to physical and psychological abuse, including rape, including violence, including death, as well as illicit human organ harvests. So the challenges are so many. So we came together in order to fight and defend these people. So the objective, first of all, has been to empower the people to fight for themselves. But we also, we've had occasions when we've had to intervene in situations bordering on life and death, where we've saved people from, from very dangerous situations, where we've helped people to get treatment, to access treatment, where we've helped people to be repatriated back home. But also, as I just mentioned today, for example, I've been dealing with repatriating my cousin's body, So these are some of the things that we do. To date, we've been able to free over 150 ladies from different scenarios, some bordering on life and death, kind of scenarios. So briefly, that is our outreach work. This is again part of the work that we do as NUP, to kind of add value to lives that have otherwise been degraded in the Middle East. Thank you. I think for more information, you can access our website and read about it. If you need more information or more engagement, please contact us. Thank you. I think that is all I can say for now.
Thank you. And of course, for the distressed Ugandans, please do send the call and we will be able to help where we can. Yes, we've also had success stories, and over 200 girls have been able to go back home alive and not dead, because so many of our sisters die. On a single day, we have nearly 5 Ugandans dying in the Middle East due to the horrible working conditions. Yes, comrades, there should be tweets. If you can share your tweets last minute or last going once, going twice, let's put those tweets in the chat before we close. I'm trying to get 1 or 2 there so that we can amplify sound. I don't know if Joy, you're able to share. Did you say your battery is dying?
Yes, my battery's down.
Okay.
Yeah, quite low.
No problem. Yes, I'm going to try and see if I can get this tweet on. Guys, there is a tweet on the land. I hope I can actually open it and we get reading. Oh, brilliant. It's opened. Yeah, I was sort of struggling. I will share my screen again so that we see the tweet, then close. This is a protest, guys. We do not stop protesting. Every minute during the Zoom, we have to protest. Right, people have been talking about land. So there is a tweet on the platform. Our handle is at Stand Up Uganda, and that's the website as well, Stand Up Uganda. .com. So this tweet, of course, we've got our comrades in America. We salute you. And of course, many other comrades all over the world have been protesting against the ECOP in Uganda. That's the pipeline, the Total Energies. So we are saying in this tweet that the dictator has actually displaced so many of our brothers and sisters on ground. As you can see, people's homes were demolished. People are in makeshift, what is this, camps, and some barely have anywhere to sleep. You know, so many people have been displaced. So many people are in illegal detention. Many have been murdered, tortured, and their land grabbed, taken, given to the investor, the so-called Total Energies. So we are continuing to protest against this injustice. This is the gross human rights violations of the highest order, and we will not be silent. Please go on there, amplify sound, reply with a picture, other pictures, or even a message, and tag various people. We've tagged the human rights, the CNN, you know, tag whoever you can or whoever we haven't tagged, and let's amplify sound. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us today. We've really overrun 30 minutes over. It was really a good Zoom. Thank you for being with us, and let's continue. Sorry, Joe, could you? Sorry, yeah. Joe, I don't know if I'm being heard, but yes, so let's continue to amplify sound throughout the week. We speak again on Monday and Wednesday during the Twitter Spaces, 9 p.m. Ugandan time. And then this meeting is always 2 p.m. UK time, so please convert that to your local time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Comrades, Joe, unless if you have a minute, otherwise we will be unmuting everybody and closing this meeting. Thank you. Thank you so much, comrades. Yes. Right. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody. Yeah. In the meantime, comrades, please get unmuted and let's close this meeting. If you could all unmute, please, and let's ensure you're awake and with us. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
One of the guys, please take it away. Let the Chimeza commence.
Ensonga muziwulidde. Ensonga za kwebereramu, ensonga za kutereza ggwanga lyaffe, za kukyusa Uganda, tugijje ku mutendera gweriko, tugize ate ku mutendera omundi. Era nga obuvunaanyizibwa buli mu ffe, buli mu ngalo zaffe, nze naawe, ffe tulina okulwana olutalo luno, okulaba nga tulutuusa gye tulina okugenda, nga tutereeza ensi eno ku lw'abaana baffe, ku lw'abazzukulu baffe. Ate nga ensi zonna ze twegomba, ez'amaanyi zikiri maanyi, zikiri megga, zonna z'olaba mu nsi eyo, ensi ezo zirina we zaatandikira. Ensi ezo waliwo abaalwana olutalo okulaba nga zaatuukawo we ziri. Akitukakatako nze naawe okulaba nga tubaako kye tutandika, tubaako kye tukola olwaleero, era nga tusalawo nti ekimala kimala okutereeza ensi eno. Buli kyokola kikole kasita kiba nga kiyambako okwanguya okujja ku gavumenti ya Museveni, era buli kyetusaanidde tukikole kasita kiba nga kigenda kutuyamba okusola gavumenti ya Museveni. Oba okoze eki oba ki naye ng'olaba kyongera okukendeeza amaanyi, kyongera okutema enteega za gavumenti ya Museveni, kikole ku lw'obulungi bw'ensi eno lw'abo abaliddawo. Ffe tulina okukikola, teriyo mulala. Tewali gwe tujja kulinda ave mawanga g'abandi ajja tutendeke ffe okukyusa eggwanga, oba ajja atukyusiza eggwanga lyaffe. Ffe tulina okulyekyusiza kuba tumanyi kye twagala, tumanyi kye twetaaga, tumanyi kye twagaliza abaana baffe. Ffe tulina okuteekawo environment abaana baffe mwe balinaawangalira n'abazzukulu nabo bagyeyagalire mu Uganda eno. Mbaagala nnyo mwenna abaliko, batayi mwe bali kubaako, mwe bali kutwagala, mwe bali kutugobereranga. Omukama Katonda nsaba bankuumire, tujja kuba tuddamu tubyogera ebigambo, batayi mweraba.